How about some of the youth at the back? If I was to ask you what is the purpose of life, what would you say? What is the purpose of life? Everybody is saying Quran and Sunnah, mashallah. Okay? Everyone is saying in Quran and Sunnah. Everyone is saying that it's linked to religion. Well, if we look to why we say this, we can understand because of the fact it's something that has been taught to us, no doubt. The purpose of life, the reason we are praying here today is something that has been taught to us. So one of the reasons that Allah, He created us, as the verse says, بَعْدَ أَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِي يَعْبُدُونَ. This is the answer I was asking from. Everybody is saying Quran and Sunnah, which is good answer. But Allah says, we did not create. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ. We did not create. Jinna wal insa, the jinn first. Remember, Allah created the jinn first. When the ayat tells you in this order, I mean there's some significance. Allah, He created the jinn first. And then what? Insan. Illa liya'budu. Illa. Whenever we come to understand Arabic, when the ma and the illa is mentioned, it is something that is so strong in Arabic. وَمَا خَلَقْتُ الْجِنَّ وَالْإِنسَ إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ. Mean Allah now is saying, I did not create you except, this is the greatest purpose I'm going to give you, إِلَّا لِيَعْبُدُونَ, except for the purpose of worship. So this is coming from the Islamic point of view, why we say we follow Quran and we say we follow Sunnah and so on. But is there more to life than this? Than to just worship? This is what we need to ask. Did Allah only create us for this purpose of worship, as this verse says? And if you were to think this, you may be correct. But what about after this? After we do our salawat, after we fast in the month of Ramadan, many of us, if we have capability, want to go to Hajj. What about after all of this? Is there anything more? What do we want from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Good hayat, yes, to be able to continue this. But after Maut, what do we want? This is what I'm trying to get. We want Jannah, yes. See, the purpose of life is not that you just worship and you give to Allah. What we are asking is Allah to give us something as well. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَحَسِبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَكُمْ أَبَثًا وَأَنَّكُمْ إِلَيْنَا لَا تُرْجَعُونَ. Do you think we created you in vain? I mean, we just created you and let you do what you wish, which is to eat, drink and sleep. No. Allah said, and you don't think you're going to come back to us? The raja to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the other point that is important for us to understand. Because if all we talk about is what we do in the dunya, and we don't look into the akhirah, we're not giving the purpose of life its full attention. So for us as Muslims, because obviously I'm going to give the purpose of life from an Islamic point of view, it is that we worship Allah in the dunya, but what we do is whatever we do, worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we are banking with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that in the akhirah when we're there, we are going to get reward. Because for us, it is not ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Which means what? You're here, you live and you die and we just throw you in a grave? Or we just burn you? No, it is not that. We said, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. From Allah we came, and to Allah we are returning. So the purpose of life, inshallah, and the point I want to hit at today is going to be those 2 points. That we're here for worship and to understand truly what worship is. Al-ibadah. And the second point, to understand that the ibadah, we want to do the ibadah so we can get fa'idah, benefit from it. Not the fa'idah of the dunya, the riba and so on. No, we want the fa'idah so we get the benefit from what we do, the maximum benefit in the akhirah. That we return back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in a good state. So it's important for us to understand. So whenever we hear a topic like this, the purpose of life, is to understand the greater purpose of life. Is to put the whole thing, the scheme of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala into perspective.